guys, today I'm going to make cheesy scalloped potatoes in the crock pot. I will also be giving a review of using my clever cutter on potatoes because I've never done it. What you need is 6 medium potatoes or 3 large potatoes. You need 2 cups of milk, 4 tablespoons of butter, 1 1/2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese, sharp, mild, medium, whatever you like, 1 teaspoon of salt, some pepper, and 1/4 cup plus 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make my sauce that will go with these scalloped potatoes. Okay, first thing you're going to do is you're going to turn on your stove to medium heat, and you are going to add your 4 tablespoons of butter or margarine. I just actually happen to have some butter left over from a pregnancy craving, don't ask. No, just kidding. I was making baked potatoes and I wanted real butter on them when I was first pregnant, so that's what that is. So what you're going to do is you are going to let the butter melt over medium heat, and then you are going to add your salt and pepper to it. So it's going to be about 1/8 of a cup of pepper total. 1/8 of a cup, I'm sorry, 1/8 of a teaspoon. 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper and 1 teaspoon of salt. Go ahead and do that. And I am going to go ahead and melt this down and then add the flour. So I will not bore you with the melting, but I will come back when it is melted and I've added the flour. Okay, my butter is almost completely melted, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add my flour. I'm just going to keep stirring. And when I'm sure all of my butter is melted, which it is, I'm going to go ahead and whisk in my 2 cups of milk. And make sure that there are no lumps. I never realized what a universal base kind of butter and flour was for a sauce thickener until I started making some of these recipes. I know that I use it for my grandmother's recipe for biscuits and gravy, but I never realized that it was basically the starter for all recipes, sauce thickeners at least. Okay, it's been, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. And it is nice and thick and bubbling. And what I'm going to do, and I am now on medium-low heat, what I'm now going to do is I'm going to add my 1.5 cups of cheddar cheese until it melts. So I'm just going to add a little bit at a time. And stir, and a little bit at a time, and stir. To be honest, this looks a little bit like mashed potatoes already without even adding any potatoes. It looks like I could just eat it just like this. I won't, but it looks like I could. And the last of it. There we go. I'm going to turn off my heat because not all of it's melted right now, but it will be in just a second. So, on to the main event, which I'm sure is the main reason why most of you guys are watching. Let's check out how the clever cutter does with potatoes. So I took the safety off, and now this says thinly sliced. And now this says thinly sliced. So let's see if this actually works for thinly sliced. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move the camera over here to hopefully give you, because I'm right-handed, I want to give you a better shot if possible. So these potatoes have been peeled. And I'm going a little slow. Oh, it's nice. I will have to say that it's nicer than using a knife. I feel like I don't have to work so hard to thinly slice. That one wasn't very thin, but yeah, I like it. Yeah, I feel like the clever cutter, I'm going to get a bowl to put some of those in. I feel like I don't have to guide it as much. So the pieces feel like they're coming out more the same size. And you'll see that it fits in there nicely. The potatoes fit in there nicely. And these are pretty, like, thick potatoes. So I'm going to put some of these. These are probably not as thin as they were in the beginning, but alright. So this is probably user error more than the clever cutter, but I wouldn't say that these are evenly sliced like see, that one's really good. And that one's good. So I'm sure that it's some sort of user error. It's not the clever cutter. But I mean, obviously the smaller part of the potato is easier to cut than the thicker part. But it's not. And all of these pieces seem to be pretty evenly sliced. So let me finish cutting these, and then I'll come back and I'll show you the next step. Okay, all my potatoes are sliced. I have sprayed the inside of my crock pot with a non-stick olive oil spray. You can use any kind of spray you want. I think they have like something like crock pot bags or something to make cleanup easier. I've never used them. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to layer your potatoes in. Oops. Now, I know some people like onions in their scalloped potatoes. I do not. I just don't like onions in general. I can eat them in soups and stews because they're nice and soft and cooked, but I don't know what it is about crunchy onions. I can't do it. So, you can add like maybe an onion sliced in the layers if that's how you prefer. And then you take your sauce that you made and you cover completely cover, and that will seep down as it cooks. And you're going to put it in your crock pot heater element, if you will. Now you can either cook it on high for about 4 hours or low for 5 to 7 hours. So what I normally do is I normally start off high for about an hour and then I move it to low for about, I don't know, about 5 hours. Just because I like my potatoes more done than some other people might. I don't like any kind of crunchiness. I like it to be almost a mashed potato. So I will show you what it looks like when it's all done. Okay, these are my scalloped potatoes. They have been on high for 5 hours. I normally cut them thinner than this. However, the clever cutter, since I am a novice at it, cut them a little bit thicker in areas. So I normally like my potatoes, like I said, more done. These are not. They're going to have to cook actually a lot longer. So I would suggest just keeping it on high the whole time if you want more kind of soft potatoes. But they are delicious. I just like the consistency a little softer. So, as always, if you have any questions, comments, please feel free to leave them down below. And I will talk to you for my next video. Bye.